We're in full-blown flight tracker season, and it's always fun when it's not your team. A lot of news came out yesterday that it looks like Oregon defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoi is the early favorite to replace Justin Wilcox at Cal. Now, his name was rumored a little bit early on in the week, and then really yesterday was the day when things started to really pick up. We're going to cover it all and talk about the likelihood of Tosh leaving or staying at Oregon. So if you would, please do like and subscribe to the Big Ten Huddle. We cover the entire Big Ten Conference and bring you information and analysis on the biggest stories and rumors that pertain to the Big Ten. We also push back against the SEC bias of the national media and how absurd they can be. Listen, okay, I know this is like the part of the show where I try to get you to like, but just like you're Oregon fans if you're here, okay? Like the stupid Get Up show on ESPN on Wednesday morning that tried to make the case. Like, could you believe this? They tried to make the case for a 3-loss Texas team to be in the playoffs over a 1-loss Oregon team. Like the amount of insanity that ESPN has gotten to, they've gotten to be that stupid. Let that sink in. It's absolutely crazy at this point. So if you're into that kind of stuff, as I am going to have a Texas video about the SEC and their delusion out a little bit later on too, but join us here and comment your thoughts as well. Now, back to Tosh, as my read on the situation is if Cal moves quickly, it appears likely that Tosh will be the choice. He is a former Cal player and assistant with strong West Coast recruiting ties. If the search goes longer, it could open up to several options. I have to believe that Cal made this move knowing that Tosh would take the job, or they think that he is very likely to take the job. Otherwise, they are just a completely incompetent program, which that's also a possibility as well. They could lose their star freshman quarterback, and in this cycle, they aren't going to get anyone, like any big names to go to Cal, especially with the program not being fully focused on football. Now, there are some reports that indicate that Cal is going to put a lot more money and resources into the football program, and that Tosh is only going to take the job if they do that. But with Ron Rivera there and firing Wilcox, I tend to think that will happen. I mean, I don't know why you would make that happen if you don't intend on boosting the program. But I mean, Cal and Stanford are in way worse situations with travel and everything else than any of the Big Ten teams are. And trying to bring in a coach to sign up for that, I mean, that would absolutely suck. You would really have to have some emotional ties to the program in order to go in there and try to save it. So Tosh has been reported as the prime candidate for a while, basically all day Wednesday. Nothing really changed. And even with the murky past of his recruiting and heading out with Sark and all that stuff, I think Tosh gets offered the job, and it's just a question of if he takes the job or not, which leads us to the idea of what happens with Oregon, right? This isn't a Cal video. We're talking Oregon here. With the college football calendar in such disarray, playoff teams losing staff members is not unheard of before the playoffs even start, right? You see what happens to Lane Kiffin right now. So if Tosh does leave for Cal, would he leave before the playoffs? If so, how would they decide to replace him in the playoffs? Well, Oregon has Dan Lanning, and Chris Hampton is the co-defensive coordinator. He's also the defensive backs coach. Hampton has done a phenomenal job with his players this year, and the only worry for him would be moving to the full DC role. It would be if he had the time for those players still, or if it would take away from his coaching of the secondary. But the positive here for Oregon is that I see is that Tosh has all the leverage in this situation. Cal isn't going to hire somebody as good as Tosh, and he is the one they want the most. I think it is more likely that Kyle hires Tosh and they let him finish the playoff run at Oregon and then have him come over. I know he'd miss the transfer portal most likely and everything else, but it would be quite the risk for them to do that. But it would be better to get the guy you're confident in, later on, like get that commitment for him coming later on, than to get the guy you're kind of unsure about early on, right? So then you just leaves us to where after the season, if Tosh does leave, which is not a foregone, it's not for sure yet. If he does leave, what does Dan Lanning do? And honestly, I'm not sure, but what I do know is that I am very confident in Dan Lanning. Right now, I have two coaches with little to no worry about who they are hiring for their next coach if somebody on their coaching staff leaves, and that's Dan Lanning and Ryan Day. To me, they are the two best coaches in college football. But not only that, they're two of the best leaders of their staff and hiring their staff as well. There would also be some concern that Tosh could take some players with him to Cal. I never really want to say that cannot happen because every player is different and their relationships are different. So it's a big thing to try and speculate on, but all I can say is this is that leaving Oregon to Cal would be a move someone makes because of a dire relationship of some kind, or they're trying to make the move for playing time. So if anyone leaves Oregon to go to Cal, I can't imagine it would be a big time contributor, somebody who's expected to have a large role next year. It would most likely be a depth player or a player who didn't make the biggest impact this year or isn't projected to make the biggest impact the next year. Plus, let's also understand that Dan is very involved with the defense. Defenders aren't coming for Tosh as much as they are coming for Dan Lanning. Now, I'm not trying to discredit Tosh. He's a fine coach and everything. He's making a lot of money there, doing a good job at Oregon. I know there's some Oregon fans that aren't, in love with him or anything like that, and I get that. But I think that the reality, I think that is the reality of the situation, where Dan Lanning is the head of this team. He is the head of this defense more so, and people are coming more for Dan Lanning than they are for Tosh. So let me know what you think about all this. Is Tosh leaving? Do you think he stays? Why or why not? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and honestly, just like what do you see happening with Oregon as well if Tosh does leave? If you had to give it a percentage choice, what would you set it at that Tosh would stay versus Tosh would go or anything? Would love to hear your thoughts. I can only imagine this coaching carousel is going to get more and more crazy. I do think that even if Tosh doesn't take this Cal job, there could be some other jobs that open up. And as we know, Dan Lanning, he talks about it like Urban Meyer did, where it's like, yeah, I'm trying to get these guys their next head coaching job. And he gave a glowing sentiment to Tosh Lupoi on when he does get a head coaching job someplace, because that's the kind of coach that Dan Lanning is. He's not one of these coaches that tries to hoard all the talent and say, no, nobody can take this talent from me, stay here. There are coaches in the industry that do that, but those coaches aren't often the ones that get the really good hires. One of the reasons why Dan Lanning gets really good hires is because they know they're coming in to learn from a really good program, to learn from a really good head coach, and also to be set up to try and get that head coaching job, that offensive coordinator job, wherever it might be later on down the road. So Dan Lanning, I don't think he's going to go out there and hire like a Jim Knowles or anything like that. Honestly, he'd probably go to a Big 12, ACC, a group of 5 team, and find somebody from there and bring him in because he sees the potential, he sees the ability, and they don't have the ego to try and come in and go over Dan Lanning. They're going to come in and learn from him and do all that good stuff. So that's what I got on Tosh Lupoi, Cal, everything else. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.